I've had a rough couple of days at work. I just want to laugh, and we have been given an opportunity to laugh. In this video, I'm going to talk about the Met Gala, Harry and Meghan, invitations, Anna Wintour, the US Open, and we are going to close with some funny hypothetical questions that I will answer, and I want to hear your answer too. Just to get everything kicked off, I'm going to ask you the first question now. So please drop your answer in the comments. And that question is if, and that's a big if, Meghan was invited to the Met Gala, what excuse would she give for turning the invitation down? I want to hear what you think. Before we begin, here's the intro. Welcome to Revealing the Narc. Join me as I highlight narcissistic traits in celebrities and public figures. Everything here is in my opinion and not professional advice. If you enjoy the analysis, please like and subscribe. I saw this article in the Mirror. It's titled Why Meghan Markle and Prince Harry Skipped the Met Gala 2025. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex were noticeably absent from fashion's biggest night as sources allege what they were doing instead. So I want to go into what the Met Gala is because I'll be real, I don't know much about it. All I've seen is over the last few years some very over the top outfits. The Met Gala, short for Metropolitan Museum of Art Costume Institute Gala, is an annual ultra exclusive fundraising event in New York City, but really it's considered the fashion Super Bowl meets celebrity Hunger Games. It's held on the first Monday in May and it's hosted by Anna Wintour, editor in chief of Vogue magazine. The event kicks off the Costume Institute's annual fashion exhibition. There are a couple of reasons why it's famous. Every year has its own theme. Celebrities are expected to dress to match the theme, often in the most over the top conceptual or couture fashion imaginable. It's not just a red carpet, it's a curated performative fashion moment. Only A-listers, fashion designers, billionaires, and their plus ones are able to get in. Sometimes some carefully selected influencers have also been invited. Tickets cost around $50,000 and entire tables can go for hundreds of thousands of dollars. But you can't just buy a ticket. Anna Wintour has to approve you. Inside, there are no phones allowed. There's a formal dinner, a tour of the exhibit, performances, and exclusive conversations no one's supposed to talk about, but sometimes they end up leaked anyways. Let's get into the article. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry were nowhere to be seen at the 2025 Met Gala, despite fan speculation this would finally be the year the couple made their red carpet debut at the high profile fashion event. Oh man, how the sugars have been waiting for the moment for Meghan to sweep the Met stairs in a cape of recycled royal protocols. And once again, Meghan's red carpet debut remains like her Spotify contract rumored, then ghosted. I wanted to look into what the sugars were responding to this, so I did a quick search on a couple of social media sites. I came across this post. It's actually a video, but it's looping this picture, and it says Prince Harry and Meghan to miss out on Met Gala over ongoing family drama. Sources have suggested that the Sussexes will be reluctant to attend red carpet events. So I was like, great. So they're going to blame another thing on the royal family after Harry went on the BBC, did the BBC interview just a couple of days ago. And then I was like, well, let me see when this was actually written. And, it's quoting a pretty well known news source there. So I looked it up, and actually, this post and this story is from 2023. How how time has not changed anything. That these two are still creating so much drama that you can use this excuse probably every single year. The article continues. Despite the Met Gala being held in New York and the Duke and Duchess being LA based, the event is known for attracting A-listers from across the globe. The pair's absence had many fans wondering where they were instead. What fans? I don't know who's wondering. But yeah, so basically the translation I see here is that distance wasn't the issue because A-listers from all over the world are able to make it. If you're not there, it's not because your GPS was confused. Let's be real. If Megan was invited, she'd be in a private jet in a wide brim hat and would have four cars waiting for her at the airport. And then let's get into that statement that many fans were wondering where they were instead. I love that this article assumes curiosity when really it was just Twitter saying, oh, they weren't invited again. They weren't at the Met, but don't worry, they were busy. They were editing podcast timestamps. They were making jam on a stove. They were very busy. The article continues. A source is now saying that the famous couple prefers the quiet of their own home in Montecito over the chaos of the red carpet in Manhattan. Though they haven't directly addressed skipping the event, insiders close to the family say they had other priorities over fashion's biggest night. So it's a classic PR pivot. We didn't get invited, but it's because we chose peace. To me, this statement is not based on fact. Megan loves the red carpet. So I don't see that being true that they chose the quiet of their own home, in my opinion. This statement is giving this sense of, I dumped the Met Gala before it could dump me. And them saying other priorities, I think that's code for we didn't clear the guest list. Here's the next hypothetical question. What do you think those priorities are that had them hypothetically stay in Montecito and not be on the red carpet on fashion's biggest night? I'm not going to continue with that article in the Mirror because it just continues to talk about how busy Megan is with her podcast and all of these things. But I did want to show you this article in Elle magazine, and the title is Archie gave Meghan Markle and Prince Harry a good reason to skip the 2025 Met Gala. And it says neither Meghan nor Prince Harry has ever attended the Met Gala, and understandably, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex chose not to leave their home and children, Archie and Betty, in Montecito, California, to have a date night at tonight's prestigious New York City event. They had a good reason to stay put. Archie's sixth birthday is on May 6th, the day after the Met Gala. Let's look at the facts. Harry was in Las Vegas on May 6th. So, several media outlets cited Archie's birthday as a reason for this absence, but it's important to note that Harry was in Las Vegas on May 6th attending a Diana Award event. This means he was not present for Archie's birthday celebrations, assuming Archie's birthday is May 6th. I bring up the date because when Harry and Meghan gave their interview, well, you know what? I'm just going to show it to you. Here's the clip.
Now, everyone says that babies change so much over 2 weeks. We're basically sort of monitoring how the changing process happens over this next month, really. And parenting is amazing. It's only been, what, 2.5 days, 3 days?
After watching that and just seeing all of this confusion around the children, it's not completely unlikely that perhaps May 6th is not actually Archie's birthday. And what does that mean? If his birthday is not actually May 6th, that can't be a reason for them to miss it. And if it is actually May 6th, well, Harry missed it anyways. And this brings us to the next question. Has Meghan ever been invited to the Met Gala? There's no public record or confirmation that she's ever been invited. However, Anna Wintour once named Meghan and Catherine, Princess of Wales, as her dream guests. She said this in 2019. But as we can see, I don't think Anna Wintour saying this in 2019 is actually a confirmed invite. I'm going to play that video clip of Anna Wintour making this statement here.
Is there a dream guest that has never come that you wish would make their attendance?
Yes, definitely. I would love to have the Duchess of Sussex and the Duchess of Cambridge together. That would be my dream couple. Could leave their husbands at home.
Yes,
the
leave
two
the
of the-
husbands
it's two
at
of
home.
them.
In just a couple of minutes, I'll get into the timeline of Anna Wintour making this statement and other events that may have happened that may have impacted her relationship with Meghan. So, as we know, Meghan and Harry have never attended the Met Gala, despite being in the perfect celeb adjacent LA elite demographic. Every year there's speculation, and every year they don't show and release vague statements like, we prefer privacy or we had other priorities. What this suggests, in my opinion, is that they're likely not invited. The Met Gala is hyper curated, and Anna Wintour doesn't invite people who bring unpredictable press, legal drama, or branding distractions, according to the research I've done. If you know otherwise, please feel free to drop that in the comments. Meghan is seen by many in fashion as too high maintenance, too brand focused, and not enough of a fashion industry insider. And let's be real, if she was invited, she would go because the Met Gala is where image meets mythology, and Meghan loves a mythical arc. So, why does any of this matter? It's because skipping something you were never invited to, but still releasing quotes about being too busy is peak delulu. It's like saying you didn't go to the Oscars because you had to do laundry. Ma'am, the Academy Awards did not call. Okay, let's get into the timeline. Anna Wintour made that statement about Meghan being a dream guest in April of 2019. And I think at the time, Meghan was still seen as stylish, mysterious, and press friendly. Just a couple of months later, on September 7, 2019, Meghan attended the US Open final. She flew in last minute from London to attend, and she sat in Serena's player box, notably in front of Anna. Serendipitously, I spent a couple of hours 3 days ago watching that US Open and clipping every single time I saw Meghan appear on the screen. And what I've done is I've summarized it really quick for all of you to look at. I'll put it here right now. There won't be any audio to it. And what I'm going to do at the very end of this video, I'm going to slow down that clip and leave it there for you to analyze. So I zoomed in and I slowed it down and I did all sorts of things, but personally I couldn't notice any any really flamboyant interaction with the two. But I think that also says a lot. Anna never really looked at Megan. Megan, I think, turned around a couple of times and smiled. Anna did that polite celebrity freeze smile, but didn't lean in, didn't engage, didn't speak. There are also no candid chatting shots that I saw between Megan and Anna, which is weird considering that they were inches apart for hours. Some online have actually said that Serena's husband, Alexis, got more FaceTime with Anna than Megan did. People that were also very informed about fashion noticed that Megan wore a denim J. Crew shirt dress. It's casual, it's comfy, it's fine, but sitting in front of Anna in a denim dress, I don't know. I feel Megan could have done better. And ultimately, I think what we're seeing here is the Met Gala invitation never came. Some have speculated that this event was Meghan trying to say, look how normal and approachable I am. It was a soft launch to fashion insiders. This event again happened in September of 2019. This is just a couple of months before Megxit happened. I have talked about how I think Megxit was planned long before they actually announced it. So I think it would be safe to assume that anything Meghan did, she did it with strategy in mind. Meghan also knew that Anna Wintour had mentioned her publicly just 5 months earlier. So it really does make me wonder why she would show up at an event in this casual chic instead of going full glam. Maybe she didn't know Anna was going to be there. I don't know. The unspoken message here is that Anna Wintour watched, she measured, and she passed on giving them the invitation. The timeline tells on itself. We saw that interview in April 2019 that Meghan and Catherine, Princess of Wales, would be her dream guests. In summer 2019, rumors start swirling about tension inside the palace. Meghan is criticized for her private Wimbledon appearance, where she allegedly banned fans from taking photos. And then finally, we have this September 2019 appearance where she sat in front of Anna Wintour. Anna doesn't engage. There's no buzz about chemistry. There don't seem to be any reports of them hitting it off. It's just cold optics. Shortly after this, Harry and Meghan, An African Journey, the documentary drops. Meghan tears up on camera, criticizes the royal family, and says, "Not many people have asked if I'm okay."
And also, thank you for asking, because not many people have asked if I'm okay. But it's a very real thing to be going through behind the scenes.
And the answer is, would it be fair to say not really okay? Since it's really been a struggle.
Yes.
And we've seen the downfall since then. I think all of this would matter to Anna because from what I've been seeing, she isn't just about fashion. She's about image control and power. The Met Gala isn't just a party, it's a curated narrative. She doesn't invite people who bring unpredictability, overshadow the theme, or make themselves the story. And by the time Meghan's PR strategy went full main character energy, she had become the story and not in a way that Anna could direct. So I think if you put all of this together, that Meghan seems to be too much drama, not enough fashion, there's uncontrolled press, there's this history of Meghan having main character energy, it would make sense why we haven't seen an invitation. Well, we haven't seen a red carpet appearance. And to me, that implies there is not an invitation. So, yeah, maybe once Meghan was considered a dream guest, but this is just another example of Meghan's downfall. I mean, if you really think about it, how the mighty have fallen. She went from being an Instagram influencer to being a member of the most famous royal family in the world, to having Anna Wintour saying you'd be a dream guest, and now you're back on Instagram selling things with a much worse reputation than she had during the Tig days. This wouldn't be a Revealing the Narc video if we didn't talk a little bit about narcissism and specifically malignant narcissism, because I believe Meghan is a malignant narcissist. She acts just like my stepmom, who is a malignant narcissist. So here are 3 reasons I believe that Meghan would strategically draw attention to her absence from the Met Gala. The first is she wants to reclaim the narrative. If she wasn't invited, which I think is highly likely, she can't risk people thinking she was excluded. So instead of silence, which looks like rejection, she leaks a preemptive narrative. We chose not to go. We prefer privacy. We had other priorities. Why? Because in the narcissistic mind, rejection must always be framed as a choice, never a consequence. The second reason, I think she wanted to insert herself into a conversation that she wasn't actually in. Planting stories like this, she hijacks the event's PR cycle without even being present. Narcissists hate being ignored more than being disliked. Visibility, even through absence, still fuels the ego. And finally, the third reason, she is painting herself as above it, even though she secretly craves it. Leaking a reason like "we prefer the quiet of Montecito" creates the illusion of elevated priorities. She's not being left out, she's transcending it. Malignant narcissists will act like they're above the party they were never invited to while still hoping you beg them to show up next year. All right, let's get into the fun questions. Okay, what excuse did Meghan Markle give for turning down the Met Gala invite she probably never received? My answer is the theme wasn't about me, so hard pass. Second question. What reason did Anna Wintour give for not inviting Meghan? My answer is this year's theme is fashion, not drama. Third question. What do you think Meghan would have worn to the Met Gala? I'm going to say that outfit from the George Michael music video, where I think it's like a motorcycle dress. I'm going to put the picture right here. And there's two mirrors. And that way, Meghan has two mirrors that she can constantly be looking at herself. Number four, what was Prince Harry's reaction when they didn't get the invite? I think he went on the BBC and blamed his family. Oh my goodness. Okay, question five. If Meghan had gone to the Met Gala, what would her red carpet quote be? I'm going to say, it's just so meaningful to finally have a seat at the table. Even if I had to build a table myself, light a candle on it, trademark it, and sell it as a limited edition centerpiece in the As Ever Spring collection, which happened to sell out in 45 minutes. And finally, the last question. What Met Gala theme would finally convince Anna to invite Meghan? I'm going to call it delusion as couture. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I really needed a good laugh, and this was a great opportunity for that. If this video was interesting to you, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you'll know every time I drop a new video. I want to thank you all so much for listening. I will talk to you all soon, but at the end of this, after I say goodbye, I'm going to post that clip from the 2019 US Open, slow down, and you tell me if you see anything that I may have missed. I'd love to hear it. And again, thank you for listening. I'll talk to you all soon. Bye, everybody.